Okay, so greetings to everyone and welcome to FinCity.Tokyo's third global networking event. My name is Justin and I'll be today's facilitator. And we appreciate everyone joining the event today, especially we know some of you are staying up very late to join. So thank you for your participation today. And today's event is in order to generate interest in foreign fintech companies among Japanese VCs, CVCs, and financial institutions. We will begin today's event with a series of 3 speeches. So first, we will hear from 2 financial institutions in Japan. We have Mitsunobu Okubo from Mizuho Financial Group. Then we will hear from Myron Rajendra from Mitsubishi Sumitomo Banking Corporation. And following that is a venture capital participant. We will have Yo Nakagawa from Monix Group and Monix Ventures. And these 3 speeches will be followed by a short Q&A session. So we will accept questions from our audience. We will accept questions from our audience in the Zoom Q&A box. However, due to time constraints, Mr. Okubo of Mizuho will be unavailable to answer in person, but Mr. Rajendra and Mr. Nakagawa will be able to answer your questions. As a reminder, please type your questions into the Q&A box and not the chat window so that we can manage the questions. And when you type your question, please state to whom you would like to ask the question. So then after that, we will move to the pitch portion of our event where we have selected 9 companies who are either in Japan or have plans to come to Japan for today's pitches. And following the pitches, we will have another Q&A session from the Japan side to the pitching companies. And with that, I will hand it over to Mitsunobu Okubo. And Mr. Okubo is an executive advisor to the government CIO, co-founder at Finnovators, Fintech Association of Japan Advisory Board member, and member of the advisory board at Mizuho Financial Group. Mr. Okubo? Okubo-san, are you with us? Okay, so he may be having some technical difficulties, so we are going to move on to our next speaker. Is that okay with you, Myron? Can we go ahead and move on to you? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. So we'll go ahead and hear from Myron Rajendra, who is a Senior Vice President, Head of Digital Solutions at APAC at Mitsui Sumitomo Banking Corporation. So I'll hand it over to you, Myron. Thank you.
I'd like to share my screen. Okay, I think I can. Can you see my screen now?
Oh, yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, great. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all of you. This is Myron from SMBC, Sumitomo Mitsui Banking Corporation in Japan. And I'm really excited to be here today, sharing a few initiatives we are conducting as well as, learn a lot from you. So today, I'll spend, around 10 minutes sharing that in SMBC from a digital point of view or more of a fintech point of view, what are the areas we are covering, some of our initiatives so far, and the key activities at the moment. Let me move to the next page. So as SMBC Group, we announced our midterm plan this March, and there is a tremendous focus on digital and digital initiatives. And we kind of summarized or categorized our digital activities into 4 directions. So the first one, which I think quite relevant with most of the participants today, how a conventional financial institute like our bank is trying to expand into non-financial areas where digital avenues. And the second one is how to create new business models or new revenue streams utilizing data and the digital initiatives, which is quite important for us. And I'll come back to that in details in the next couple of slides. And again, the third direction is how to enhance our customer base. So far in the conventional banking, we mostly talked about the wholesale or B2B banking or the retail B2C. But due to these digital initiatives, the platforms and everything, the boundaries between B2B and B2C become really irrelevant. So we are focusing more on these platform initiatives as well. And finally, the geographic expansion is also critical for us. When it comes to the digital age, the geographic boundaries become again less and less relevant, and how to utilize data and have serve customers around the globe is critical to us. So in that context, we created a innovation laboratory in Silicon Valley a couple of years ago, and we created a digital solution division in Singapore this year. So we are taking a lot of initiatives outside of Japan, to collaborate with more startups, more fintech companies, like most of the participants today. So personally, I am really excited to be a part of that, initiatives outside of Japan, and to collaborate with most of you going forward. So I'm moving to the next page, which is, I'm not going into too much of details in this page, but the main message is we are covering a broad variety of services, from retail to wholesale, and from a digital context, digitizing our internal operations to using digital capabilities to serve our customers. So moving to the next page, so most of our digitization activities are collaborations, through collaborations. On the right hand side, you can see a lot of logos, which mostly collaboration with startups, collaboration with the companies other than the financial institutes, and so on. The latest adding to our the initiative is PlusMedi, which is a healthcare startup, and we acquired them a couple of months ago, and now we are underway solution development with them in the healthcare domain as well. So today, I really want to emphasize the point. We are really open for collaboration, open for partnership, not only in the financial domain, but whatever the domains or customers are looking for new solutions and capabilities going forward. So going to the next page, this is something we keep it as a basic framework or a structure on how we are collaborating with our partners, or how we are looking at the data, the variety of data from our ecosystem. So here, most of you are familiar with how the digital is transforming everything and anything. So we see the digital capabilities, mainly the user interface, user experience, the customer engagements, the customer touch points, as the first layer of the digitization, or utilizing digital capabilities for customer touch point. That itself is critical to change the way we engage with our customers. But more than that, we are looking for acquiring data or sharing data with our customers, or have access to data which we don't have today or in the past. And then the critical question is how to utilize that data to create various or new revenue streams. So we see this utilizing digital capabilities into the 3-layer framework. First one is to utilize the digital capabilities to change or enhance or improve the way we engage with our customers. Through those digitally enabled engagements, we are looking to have access to more data, or different sets of data which we don't have access till today, and then utilizing that data to enhance our financial offerings to our customers in different domains. So let me give you a very specific example on how we are doing that. I'm moving to the next page now. So here, this is an initiative we are, as SMBC, doing for the last 3 years on creating new financial offerings for our manufacturing customers who has a global supply chain. So the way we engage with the customers is we help the customers build the dashboards or visualization tools to connect their end-to-end operations from a CFO's point of view. So by doing that, we were able to organize a variety of data within the customer's organization in multiple departments. So that could be, analyzed or reused for other purposes. And then by utilizing that data, we created new financial offerings. We kind of enhanced our conventional trade finance offerings to help the customers to reduce their cash conversion cycle and to have better cash flow. So the detail, I'm moving to the next page to share the details with you. So what we did was, as I mentioned earlier, we helped the customers collect the data from different databases, different departments, and so on. So that's a completely an adventurous activity for us as a bank to go and talk to the factory managers, the procurement department, and sales team to understand how they operate, how the supply chain of the customer is operated today, and what kind of data is scattered everywhere in the operations. And then it's again surprising to our customers. As a bank, we collected the data and helped them build these dashboards. So first of all, the CFOs or the financial departments of those customers were very happy because most of the companies, for the first time, they got an overall view of their operations, from procurement to fulfillment, from cash collection to cross-border operations and so on. So that itself created a value for the customer. So this is, as I mentioned earlier, this is the first layer of the 3-layer framework. This is a digitally enabled engagement with our customers. By doing that, customers and ourselves, we were able to organize a variety of data within the customer's organization. And then, with the permission of the customer, we utilize some of the data points to enhance our trade finance offering. For example, we created a future account receivables offering by analyzing the data and predict when a purchase order is going to become an advanced receivables and so on. So I'm not going to bore you with the details, but the core message here is once we get access to data with the customers, we can create new predictive models and use those predictions to enhance our financial offerings, which eventually help our customers to have better cash flow or reduce their inventories and so on. So this is where we see a huge overlap on the data analytics and the technology side of it, and the banking offerings or the financial offerings can merge and collaborate and evolve in a different form going forward. So I'm moving to the next page. This is more of a collaborative approach we are taking with most of our customers recently is, even as a bank, we work with partners like digital players who provide supply chain management solutions or cash management solutions with the latest technology. We partner with them and work with our partners to help our customers solve some of their pain points, like operations efficiency or digitizing their procurement process or providing visibility in their supply chain or logistics and so on. And by doing that, we also help the customers organize their data or have their operations digitized and have the data so we can reuse and analyze it to provide enhanced financial offerings. So this is a completely different engagement model for a bank and also for us, for our customers. And they're open to work with the bank to experiment these kind of initiatives. So needless to say, we are looking for many partners and the digitally savvy players like most of the participants today to experiment and to find out new avenues to serve our customers. So the next is, I'm moving to the next page. This is another key initiative for us is the ESG. Environment, social, and governance become more and more important and getting more awareness, especially after COVID-19. Even in Japan, we see a huge, change in mindset from the senior leadership of many companies, and there are, even in the EU, there are terminologies for green recovery and so on. But on the other hand, one side, the hype is growing, bigger and bigger, which makes most of our, B2B customers a big agitated on how to, collect that information, and then how to report it, how to quantify it, and how to take meaningful actions for these initiatives. So that's why, again, even though we are a bank, we decided to build some simple digital tools to help our customers measure their CO2 visualization and also help them simulate what are the meaningful or appropriate actions they could possibly take to reduce the CO2, and also help them from a financial angle on providing sustainable linked loans or sustainable lease or so on to help them take the actions to reduce the CO2. So the next page is just an introduction on
Hi, Myron. Hi, sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yeah. Yep. We are running a little bit low on time for your part, so could you wrap up in maybe a minute or so? Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So this is the last page anyway. Yeah. So these are some of the tools we created, and working with our customers on quantifying the emissions and so on. So yeah. So what the main key message I wanted to share with you is we are looking for partners in the digital or fintech areas to provide different values to our customers and then utilize the data to enhance the financial offerings as well. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you again, Myron. And so now we're going to move back to Mr. Okubo, who is the Executive Advisor to the Government CIO, co-founder at Finnovators, a FinTech Association of Japan Advisory Board member, and member of the Advisory Board at Mizuho Financial Group. Mr. Okubo?
Yes. I'm sorry for have kept you waiting. Thank you very much for the great opportunity to present today. I am a representative of digital strategy at Mizuho Financial Group. Today, I would like to introduce our strategy towards open innovation. Let me simply introduce Mizuho Financial Group first, following up with Bruno. Mizuho has further enhanced its banking, trust, and securities unification strategy by focusing on asset management, the consulting field, and other areas. Mizuho is aiming at becoming a comprehensive financial group that can even more effectively serve its customers. We have a wide network including about 900 offices in Japan and abroad, with a strong customer base in terms of business for both individuals and corporations. Next, I would like to introduce Blue Lab. It was founded in June 2017 with venture capital investment, with the purpose of being independent from our bank, and I am the CTO there. Their main focus is being an agile organization that can quickly develop new business and new ideas based on open innovation. Let me explain the trend of the revision of financial regulation over the last 3 years. In 2017, the bank law was reversed at all banks to invest more than 50% in IT companies. There is no M&A case yet. However, there are companies from joint venture with startups and IT companies to provide IT services specializing in finance. SMBC established a biometric authentication service, and Seven Bank established a joint venture for eKYC. In 2018, the bank was required to make efforts to publish the banking API. In Japan, FSA announced that 80 banks should open their API by 2020. This year, a revision was made to encourage the information banks to use transaction data held by banks. This revision is expected to accelerate cross-industry collaboration. Therefore, regulatory sandbox has been prepared for the stakeholders on the top of that to try out before the actual business happens. In order to achieve the digital transformation as Mizuho Financial Group, we have built a new collaborative ecosystem to gather the innovative and foreseeing ideas from tech companies and create actual business leveraging Mizuho's creativity, knowledge, and assets. At the same time, from architecture side, we made a big system change to achieve the digital transformation. By consolidating the backend system into one, supported with SOA, we were finally able to provide bank services to inside and outside of the bank through API. As a result, we increased revenue by creating new businesses and reduced the cost by increasing efficiency of business operations. Now, let me briefly share with you the example of the outcome. I will show you the example by 3 categories. So, as for the collaborating best practices, first is the collaboration with railway company JR. We provide a mobile wallet for train transactions. We also collaborated with J-Coin for smartphone payment. Other similar payments cannot pay back in, but we can. With 80 banks providing free transaction fee. Currently, we are testing the prototype at stadium and event venue. For our second category of best practices, I'd like to present our lending service leveraging AI and big data for individual and commercial use as Mizuho Financial Group. J-Score is Japan's first AI score lending service with investment from SoftBank and Mizuho Bank in 2016. With this, consumers can check their scoring information and special interest just by 3 steps. We are making revenue by providing this scoring information with customers' approval to third parties like online and offline shopping, such as Yahoo and Takashimaya. As for the commercial business, we provide fully online loan service to small firm as well, where AI comes in, and screen loan applications without earning figures based on data of money flow from potential borrowers' bank accounts. Loans will be provided just in 2 business days after the apply, the earliest. Finally, the last example of our digital transformation achievement. Now, within our company, we're developing AI BPR in a wide range of operation from front end through mid end to the back end. For specific process such as a bank account opening and mortgage loan, we're now preparing to package it to sell since it's replicable to other banks. This package includes solution for automating data processing of handwritten documents and non-standard forms using AI, OCR, and RPA technology. Based on the result of proof of concept testing of requests for direct debit from accounts, manual data entry was reduced by approximately 80%. So today, I presented the backend of DX necessity, activities, and achievements so far of our towards DX. Next, where are we going next? Mizuho Financial Group has announced their 5 years business strategy back in this May. Key strategy is open and connect and passionate and professional. What does this mean? First, predict the change in internal and external environments. And second, engage with external companies while we leverage our assets and expand our existing bank business. In areas like real estate, PropTech, retail tech, mass, where cost map exists, we believe we can make new businesses faster if we collaborate with fintech startups. So going forward, we continue to collaborate with external tech companies, startups, and other industries by providing our financial strengths, such as security, consumer database, and authentication feature. And together, we engage in more open innovation and digital transformation. Thank you very much for your time and attention. This will be all from today. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Okubo. So just as a reminder for everyone listening, please type your questions into the Q&A box and let us know who your question is for. So next up, we have Yo Nakagawa, who is Executive Director at Monex Group and Managing Director at Monex Ventures. Mr. Nakagawa?
Sure. Do I share my screen or are you going to manage the screen?
Please share your screen with us. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Hold on. Okay, good afternoon. So I am Yo Nakagawa from Monex Group, which is which is an online brokerage company listed in Tokyo Stock Exchange. So I would briefly like to introduce ourselves, our group, and our investment activities, and in particular, our Fintech Investments. So our company was founded back in 1999. So amongst the three keynote speakers, we're the youngest. I think back in 1999, online brokerage was probably, before the word fintech was invented, we were probably a fintech company. So I think we can call ourselves Fintech 0.1. The group itself is a holding company that comprises of very diverse businesses, both geographically as well as from a financial asset point of view. We have operations in Japan, the US, Hong Kong, and Australia, which all are online brokerage businesses and other businesses. And the business portfolio consists of stock brokerage, asset management, VC, and a crypto business both in Japan and in the US. For our group, we have been engaged in investment activities for as long as the company has been existing. And this was way before there were words like corporate venture capital, And we have been both, and investment was not only for pure investment, but also for acquisition, as well as strategic investments. The investments today, we conduct out of Monex Group, which is the ultimate holding company. We also do investments out of our US's holding company, TradeStation Group. We have in Japan a VC called Monex Ventures, and we have an asset management company called Monex Asset Management. I'll just briefly explain what these companies do in terms of investments. So the first two companies, Monex Group and TradeStation Groups, we do investments primarily for strategic reasons, investments as well as R&D. So we would invest with the target of hopefully having a strategic relationship, business relationship with the companies that we've invested in. Obviously, it's easier said than done, but nevertheless, we try to leverage our license situations both in Japan and the US to help accelerate any business partnership that we could achieve with the startups that we invest in. Obviously, this is primarily in the online brokerages business, payments, and as well as the crypto business. We have a VC called Monex Ventures. It's a relatively small fund, and we invest primarily in very early stage startups. We just launched the fund last year, and fortunately or unfortunately, we have more or less deployed our capital. So we're in the process of raising fund number 2 within the next 3 to 4 months. Monex Asset Management is a asset management company that invests in listed ETFs. So we also launch mutual funds for retail investors. So this is probably not a relevant investment vehicle for today's purpose. We have invested in terms of the fintech investments that we've done in the past. We've invested in a pretty broad range of sectors. Obviously, insurance. We started with insurance, PFM, crypto, wealth management, neobanks, brokerage, B2B lending, payments, mortgage, primary markets, fintech, VCs, etc. I mean, you name it. We've pretty much covered most of it. There may have been certain sectors that we shied away, but I think we pretty much covered most of the fintech sectors over the past, I would say almost 15 years, 17 years that we've been investing in. From a geographic point of view, we've invested in Japan, US, Australia, Israel, and Singapore. Now, the founders of these companies are much more different, obviously. We have Canadians, we have Indians, we have Koreans. The nationality is one thing, and the headquarter is another. But we have a fairly wide range of portfolios, countries representing our portfolios. So within the overseas investments, just to give you an example of the fintech companies that we've invested recently, would be from the US, and some are kind of like multi-jurisdiction. But Alpaca DB, it's a online brokerage company or an API brokerage company. I think the equivalent in the US would be Apex, or maybe to be a little bit more bolder in terms of or ambitious in terms of comparison. Interactive Brokers would probably be would be a comparison. We also invested in a payments company that allows payments from pretty much anything, whether it's loyalty points, cryptos, bank accounts, whatever, you name it, they have it. It's a company called Apto Payments. They're based in San Francisco. ErisX, it is a crypto exchange based in Chicago. This is, it's one of the, I think people who have been following the crypto market over the last 2 years or 3 years, the center of gravity of crypto markets have shifted towards the West Coast, East Coast of the US from the West Coast. And this was one of our first investments in the crypto space in the US. We've also invested in a company called Harvest Wealth Management Technology. It's a company in San Francisco. It provides a banking solution, a wealth management banking solution. And the last company, CVCs, this is also a crypto company. This is also based in Chicago. As I mentioned earlier, it seems that our investment in crypto space is much more on the East Coast, including Chicago, more than the West Coast these days. In Singapore, we have invested in a company called Terraform Labs, which does stable tokens. The founders are serial entrepreneurs out of Korea, Israel, and this is also, they're half based in the US. We've invested in a wallet technology company, or a crypto wallet company called Curve. And finally, from Australia, we've invested in neobank that's called Doe, which recently listed on the ASX, the Australian Exchange. So that is a very brief explanation of who we are, what we do in investments, and who we've invested in the past. We do both just pure investments. We also do strategic investments. We're very open to all sorts of investments, no matter where the company is. We would like to, what we bring to the table, it is not much the money, but I think it's the network of licenses that we have globally that could be very useful for startups to leverage if they team up with us. Thank you very much. That's it for me.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Nakagawa. So now we'll move on to the QA section for the speakers that we just heard from. And I'm just going to cover a few questions that have been answered in the Q&A box. So the first one is, someone is wondering whether or not the deck will be made available to participants. So please follow the FinCity social media, so Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and they'll be displaying a recording of today's session. We also ask that you please answer a survey that we're going to send out to everyone towards the end of the event, so we'll post a link for that afterwards. So the other question is, how critical is Japanese language capability when it comes to startup collaborations that you would consider? And Mr. Myron, he responded, not at all, as far as we find customers out of Japan, especially in the APAC region. So there we have two answers to our questions. So we're going to go ahead and move into the pitch part of our event today. So each company during today's pitch will be given 5 minutes. And because we have many companies pitching today, we're going to be keeping somewhat of a strict time schedule. So we will be cutting off at 5 minutes. It's a bit analog, but I have prepared a notebook to use to warn you guys. So I'll be ticking this down as our presentations go along. So please be mindful of your time. So I'd like to move to our first company. So that's Amber Data. So I'll hand it over to Sean Douglas. Go ahead.
Can you see my screen? Hello?
Not just yet.
Can you see it now?
Sean, are you sharing your screen?
I am. Let me try it again. And can you see my screen now?
Okay, there we go.
Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much for the opportunity to present today. So I'm Sean Douglas, CEO and co-founder of Amber Data. Amber Data is a digital asset data infrastructure company, we focus on helping large financial institutions trade, transact, and build new products around digital assets. And today, with the massive monetary stimulus and fiscal stimulus that's happening in the world, there's been an influx in institutional investors coming in and having interest in building products around digital assets. And we help them accelerate their time to market and make that very easy. So, the problem that we're solving is that financial institutions are used to having reliable data infrastructure that they can build their businesses upon. And in the digital assets or cryptocurrency space, it's difficult to get exchange data across the disparate cryptocurrency exchanges and digital assets exchanges that are trading and transacting around the world, as well as it's very complex and expensive to be able to extract the fundamental data from blockchains and to be able to assess the volatility of the market, how safe it is to trade and transact, what is the depth of the market to be able to support the sizes, trading size of their business. So the solution that Amber Data provides is we provide a unified API and data services layer that provides a single integration point for anyone that is looking to build, backtest, report, or launch digital assets products. And we provide an easy integration point that just helps them get to market faster. And we do this in a very enterprise class way that allows them to not worry about data infrastructure, but they can focus on building their business. So we unify on-chain data across various different blockchains and digital assets, and exchange data, which is effectively price and market data, so that people can build backtesting and trading systems, reporting and analytics, portfolio management, decision support, custody, compliance solutions. And we pull all that together into a unified API. So how do we make money? We effectively target the heads of digital assets for each of these major financial institutions, and they have most of them have teams of people that are looking to support digital assets and cryptocurrencies. And today, this year, we're going to do about $1 million in revenue. Next year, 3 million. The year after, 10 million. So it's actually a pretty exciting space, and we've been growing very aggressively. So how big of a market is this? Today, last year, in 2019, there was $32 billion spent globally on financial data services across 40,000 financial institutions in 190 countries. We believe that all of those institutions will need digital assets data in the near future. And as such, our customers comprise some of the largest financial institutions on the planet. We've grown our revenue 500% year to date. We have 10x our quarter over quarter API consumption, serving more than 200 million API calls per week. And you can see every major financial institution on the planet building in this space. We are raising capital today to fill our sales funnel, to do business development, to expand in Japan, and to add additional data-driven applications and product features. And our team has experience building enterprise software and data businesses for financial services and for some of the largest institutions out there. So we know how to build and scale businesses, and as such, we're raising to fuel that growth today. So Sean Douglas, Sean at amberdata.io, SHAWN at amberdata.io. Thank you.
Okay, Sean, thank you so much for your presentation. One quick thing before we move to the next presenter, Sean, would you prefer to, because I know it's really in the middle of the night there for you, would you prefer to take questions through email, or are you going to stick around?
I'll stick around a little bit, but please shoot me email as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, sure. We appreciate you staying up late for us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, and so I'm going to move on to the next company. So Manali e-Business, take it away.
Hi. Hi, greetings from India. This is Bhavin from India Biz. Sean, I'm just checking. I'm audible, right?
Yeah,
We can hear you. Go right ahead.
Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, greetings from India. This is Bhavin from India Biz. I want to bring you an investment opportunity targeting small and medium-sized businesses and startups. Transactions such as business exits, fundraising, joint venture partnership, merger acquisition are important in any business's journey. Traditionally, large businesses and medium-sized businesses are catered by traditional investment banks for these kind of opportunities. However, when you look at small and medium-sized businesses, the investment banking practices are very prohibitive in nature because of their cost structure. If you look at yearly data, in India, only 1,000 transactions a year are reported which are supported by traditional investment banks. However, there are 48 million SMEs in India, and every year 500,000 business transactions like this can happen, provided they get the support. To bridge the gap for these small and medium-sized businesses, we've launched IndiaBiz platform to target these SMB businesses to help them in these transactions in India and then globally. Let's look at most recent use cases. One of the plastic packaging company, one of the directors was retiring and the business was looking for an investment partner to join. We identified a local advisor, transaction advisor, to help them for the valuation, to help them for the business planning, and we reached out to investors via using IndiaBiz online investors reach. 22 investors were interested in this transaction, and the advisor helped the business through negotiation, structuring, and putting the deal together. Currently, the business is in transition phase, but look, there are millions of such businesses across globe where they do not get this kind of support. This is where IndiaBiz platform comes. We use our technology platform to help in the matchmaking, and we use the marketplace of transaction advisory firms to help them connecting with these businesses and investors. Since 2014, we have been growing strong. Currently, we are 75,000 members strong. Every month, 2,500 businesses are introduced and matched with investors. Already, 500 plus companies have found their growth partners via IndiaBiz platform. While looking at business models, we earn revenue from subscription, referral fees and advertisements, and on-demand services. There are thousands of success stories are in making, and we are looking to grow by raising investment of $1.2 million, investing in our product to further bring the engagement and the reach, as well as open up this technology platform for other global markets. Our goal is to facilitate 500,000 businesses to find their growth partners each year. Most of us would have come across this situation in their life where they would have thought of starting a business, finding a partner to join in the business, and at times to identify a potential acquirer when time comes for an exit. We are here to make it happen. Our team is very strong and committed. All of us come from different backgrounds, and we are experts in our own field. Our vision is to become the de facto global platform for origination, analysis, and closure of SMB deals. We are currently focused on three major things: growing the network, using this tech platform to become efficient for different stakeholders, and identify partners in global markets who can help us fast track our expansion in other global markets. Thank you. I'm open for questions later on. I think I probably have done it in a little earlier. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So moving on to our next company, Uprise Credit Limited.
Hi there. Let me just share my screen in a second. Are you able
Okay,
to
we
see
see
the
it. Thank you very much. Yep,
Thanks
we
for
see it. Go
sharing.
ahead.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Peter, CEO and founder of Uprise. Uprise is a fintech company based in Hong Kong. We started off as an online SME lender 2 years ago. And middle of this year, we launched a new product called Uprise Pay. And this is the product that I'm going to talk about today, which we plan to bring to Japan as well. Uprise Pay is a credit card platform that is trying to address the payments and credit challenges of SME merchants. So it is reported that over about 90% of B2B transactions are experiencing late payments, and SMEs are incurring billions of dollars of losses because of these late payments. In Hong Kong and Singapore alone. And if we include Japan in this number, it's going to be hundreds of billions of dollars. We have been seeing a lot of innovations in the B2C payment scene, B2C transactions and B2C payments. From credit cards, we see a lot of buy now, pay later products these days. There's Afterpay in Australia, Klarna in Europe, and also Paydi in Japan. But in the B2B transaction and payment scene, it's still a little bit backwards. Majority of the transactions are still transacted based on net terms or invoice financing. And recently, we see a new breed of players called credit card enablement players, such as ourselves, that are in the B2B payment scene. And we are seeing that this wave is going to move to pay later products for B2B transactions. Non-bank financing is a huge market. In Asia alone, it's around $200 billion of SME financing gap. And this is the market that we're trying to tap into. So what exactly is Uprise Pay? So it's an online credit card platform that enables merchants to use their card, tap into their credit line to pay for trade invoices, rents and salaries, and other expenses that normally don't accept cards. On the other hand, it allows vendors or suppliers to use our platform to offer a credit card as a payment collection method. So what it offers is instant credit for users, and also a simple pause that saves merchants from installing the POS or payment gateway integrations. And it's also a way to increase sales channel for both sides of the users. On our platform, users can simply register a free account. They can attach their credit card, and they select the recipients that they want to pay, and then we'll help them settle their funds. They can repay their cards in 30 to 60 days. Basically, it's a type of buy now, pay later for B2B transactions. So our value proposition for SMEs, what we're seeing is that SMEs are having huge problems getting bank financing from traditional banks or even lenders. By using our platform, it allows them to unlock their capital from their credit card lines that they normally cannot tap into. For some vendors or suppliers, it's also a very simple platform for them to accept credit card as a payment method so that they can increase their sales. Our simple solution basically addresses the credit needs of SMEs through payments. Our vision for Uprise Pay is to create a payment and credit infrastructure, just like the card scheme and issuing banks that you see for B2C transactions. We hope to create this network to bring B2B transactions on par with B2C transactions these days. Given our SME network, fast SME network from our online lending activities, we've been able to experience massive growth since launching our product in the middle of the year. Our month-on-month growth has been 3 times. So this is the competitive scene that we see in online SME credit and also credit card enablement. In the West, we see that Cabbage, a very famous online SME lender, they also offers credit card enablement services. And recently, they've been acquired by Amex. We see that this is these two capabilities add a lot of value for a lot of institutions. And in Asia, we're probably the only ones offering these two services. This is our KPI. So since launching in the middle of the year, we've been experiencing growth of three times on a month-on-month basis. We processed over $1 million of transactions this month, and we're on track to process about $1.5 million next month. And the idea for this is basically right now, after charging a 2.5% fee on our users, we still incur costs from issuing banks, payment gateways, and card networks. As we grow our volume and as we build up more insights from data we get from these transactions, we are able to peel off these costs one by one, and hopefully we don't need to incur much of the cost that we're incurring right now. So for our growth plans, we've been nominated by the Invest Tokyo.
Hey, Peter, sorry to interrupt you. Peter, can you just take about 10 more seconds and go ahead and wrap up, and then we're going to have to move to the next company. Thanks.
Okay, so we're planning to bring our product to Singapore and Japan as well, and we're currently raising funds basically to scale up our landing teams and for more payment method integrations. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you, Peter. Okay, and next up we have Hedge SPA. So we're moving into the securities and asset management space. So Hedge SPA, go ahead.
Can you see my screen right now?
Sure can. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, afternoon, and evening. My name is Bernard Lee. Today I'm here to tell you about our company SPA. SPA stands for Sophisticated Predictive Analytics. Okay, so today, top global asset manager uses the 9-figure technology budget to automate, cut fees, and also to grab market shares. Okay, the rest of the buy side is feeling the squeeze, and because they're being Uberized. To succeed in this low yield and high volatility market after the pandemic, we offer a solution that removes complexity, is a one-stop solution, improve performance, reduce volatility, streamline processes, shortens implementation timeframe, and lower costs. It's a core investment platform that offers out-of-the-box solution on the cloud, provide end-to-end functionality such as asset selection, portfolio rebalancing, decision execution, and client reporting. It's powered by deep tech, including big data, AI, multi-scenario, forward scenarios, actuarial mathematics, and quantum computing. This solution comes with built-in data connectivity to the Swiss exchange, and also with OTC connectivity with R3 So we target 5 different verticals. Asset managers, right? We use a bespoke implementation as a service model. Okay, so what we offer is a fully parameterized application with compliance quality documentation. Most users, however, can do full cycle monitoring using an automated one-pager like this. Same service model also allow us to support insurance and pension plans. And specifically what we do is that we can read directly from the policy pool to create liability profile like this, right? And then based on that, we can actually calculate capital adequacy ratio based on Solvency II, and as well as make the investment recommendation to better meet those requirements. Service model B, API servers for private banks and wealth advisors, right? Who are keen to preserve the branding. We offer a simple, easy integration of client data using what we call connectors. And one such connector is connected to a system called Avaloq, which is used by 45% of Swiss banks. Service model C, terminal solution. This is one-stop shopping for family offices and multifamily offices to allow them to integrate their internally managed position for external manager, and also our enhanced indices, which I will tell you in a bit. Okay, the investment products that we have. This is basically a way for us to support our sustainability investments. We have a unique open philosophy that will work with multiple ESG vendors, allow users to choose their own data, but we also have a partnership with a Swiss-based ESG data provider. And in particular, to support this, we have been engaged to launch a slave seed fund with minimum AUM of $500 million US. One example of what we're going to do is to create hydrogen fuel cell using high temperature electrolysis. And we're going to attach carbon credit tokens to those deals. This was a finalist for the what we call the TADS award. And we're not just only doing this for energy. We're also energy is a special segment of trade finance. We're also going to expand to trade finance and eventually digitize the entire back end that we have. So our charging model is basically based on model-based fees and also performance fees. This is one of the success case we have. We managed to generate 15% alpha unleveraged for a major institutional customer in only 4.5 months. Our technology is basically a combination of top-tier analytics as well as technology, as compared with some of the other providers, which are usually they're either very good with analytics or very good with technology, but generally they're not very good at doing both, right? So in Japan in particular, what we're going to do is for the ALM solution, we're going to basically partner with a leading insurance policy servicing solution. For the terminal-based solution, we're going to totally localize it, and then we'll partner with one of the back-end clearing solution. And finally, for the API solution, we have an API engine for major institution. Japan is one of the most critical piece of our global strategy, and we're reasonably confident about executing this. I was actually very active at Nomura BlackRock previously, and in fact, the reason why the team, I have a lot of wonderful team members, but the reason why the team know how to do this is because I was an MD at the portfolio management group at BlackRock who built the multi-asset functionalities for Aladdin, and I own the underlying IP based on my digitation, and that's why we got the money to rebuild the whole from Singapore to rebuild the whole thing from scratch. Okay, so this is not just at BlackRock. I mean, we also actually won a lot of awards since spinning off. And we have actually raised a significant amount of money already. We're primarily looking for strategic investors. So if you are interested, this is my email, and you can also look up hedgebar.com/onepage. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. And just a reminder, anyone with questions, please type your questions into the Q&A box, and please let us know who your question is for. Okay, so now we'll move to the next company, Ignition Wealth Limited. So I'll hand it over to Ignition Wealth. Thank you. I believe your mic may still be muted. Are you speaking?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you and we can see your slides. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, I'll begin. So thank you very much for having me and Ignition Advice at FinTech Tokyo Pitch Fest this year. My name is Manish Prasad and I'm the CEO of Ignition Advice. And what we do is provide world-leading digital advice solutions to banks, financial institutions, and other major institutions on a SaaS basis using an enterprise-grade white label digital advice platform. Ignition Advice is a 6-year-old fintech with offices in Australia and Europe. And our mission is actually to make advice accessible for everyone. We do this by partnering large financial institutions and with the core purpose of helping their end customers make better financial decisions. In doing so, we often see an increase in cross-sell and upsell of financial products, and our experience shows that there is a high correlation between financial advice given and financial products sold. The reason for this is there's some common factors in all markets. What we're seeing is that in most markets, there's a low level of financial literacy. Most everyday people do not understand more complex financial matters, and this really includes how to save for your retirement and also how insurance works. They often find they need help making these financial decisions. There's also a need for advice in selling more complicated solutions, and what we often find is this falls on the shoulders of sales agents or in-branch advisors or financial professionals. And for years, this help has been provided on a face-to-face basis. The cost of delivering this advice is actually growing year on year as regulators demand more, and there is increased qualifications and advisor salaries. And also in some markets, there's been many issues and market failures that result in increased operating costs and remediation. At the end of the day, the regulator just wants to protect the customer, and the customer is looking for a solution. And we offer that by using a leading digital solution to allow the institution to offer advice, significantly decreasing their cost to serve. Ignition connects to existing CRMs and existing product systems and operates as a bridge between the nudge and insights that are created from a CRM and the online onboarding system that exists today. And we do this in a fully digital, optimized and API-led way. What Ignition isn't is we are not a simple robo-advisor. We've moved well beyond that. So whilst we do provide investment style services, we go beyond just producing a simple measured portfolio by actually offering advice around when and how to save and where to invest. And we offer a similar type of robo-advisory service for insurances and all lines of insurance, and also for retirement products. Critically, we know that the customers sometimes need help from humans, and as such, we're not digital only, we're digital first. What this allows us to do is offer full customer self-directed capabilities end-to-end, but also allow advisors to be able to assist a customer where and when they need, or in some cases, drive the journey on their behalf. Ignition powers our solutions using a very rich UX model, and as such, we can produce very seamless experiences for customers embedded in their mobile apps or digital banking environments in a raft and variety of different UX models powered by our engine and our API. You can see some of them presented here, and we have solutions across, as I said, investments, insurance, savings, life and investments, and goals. These solutions can also be delivered either on a product-led basis or in a life goals and goals-based planning approach. As stated, Ignition's been at this for a number of years now, and so we have some deep experience. Not only are we an experienced partner to 6 large financial institutions across Australia and Europe, we're also GDPR and ISO 27001 certified, and we're now able to have initial deployments delivered in under 90 days pending compliance solution inside the organisation. Our solutions actually show a greater than 77% conversion to advice, and even better than that is 1 in every 2 customers that get advice actually purchase a product. The reason for this is we've been able to build and optimize our journeys based on more than 1 million advice experiences delivered and over 5 million data points gathered. So our partner institutions can now deliver advice at less than $100 per serve, allowing them to access a portion of their client base that was previously unreachable. Ignition is seeking to enter Japan as part of a partner-based strategy, and so we'd welcome any reception to allow us to connect with large financial institutions that are looking to engage and access their retail customer base to offer investments, insurance, and pensions on a fully advised, fully engaged basis. Thank you for your time, and please contact me if you've got any questions.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. So I'd like to move on to the next company. So next up, we have Safari Asia Limited. So I'll hand it over to you. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Tim Shan. I'm the chairman of Safari Group. And today the focus is to introduce our upcoming project Popping, which intends to become the Amazon of online trading, because Popping will be a regulated business. So that's why I also include introduction of my asset management group, Safari, which is a SFC licensed operator in Hong Kong in a few licensing areas. A little bit on Safari actually is quite a famous asset management company in Hong Kong. An official survey, 1 out of 6 or 7 Hong Kong securities investors have already heard about our name, which was called Lux Asset Management before, and the company was started in 2009. We recently rebranded our Safari group to the group to Safari because of our much extended global operations now covering 30 plus countries on a daily basis. So what is Popping? Actually, Popping intends to be the all-in-one online trading platform for Generation XYZ, offering trading 7/24 anytime, anywhere. There are a few reasons why we will be the ultimate global winner, as Popping and associates have all the critical successful factors, including first, require licensing and comprehensive trading infrastructure through Safari. As I mentioned, now covers 30 plus countries, covering Asia, Europe, North America, and Middle East. Secondly, Popping is strategically based in Hong Kong, where many types of investments are available and can trade around the clock. Third, Popping is commission-free, though we still are fee-based. For example, we charge fees for closing accounts, transfer out, etc. Fourth, Popping has a community built for customers, and we also have financial KOLs and chat room for their enjoyment and usage. Fifth, Popping can source hot IPOs. As you know, now there is at least one hot IPO in Hong Kong every week. So in short, Popping has both the internal resources and also reserve of customers, estimated to be 5 million more, ready for use. This is worth explaining a bit regarding the so-called customer reserve. Regarding the type of reserve customers, Popping has access to at least 3 types. One is the Hong Kong general public, estimated 1 million plus. Secondly, we now also have access to 5 million registered gamers participants from an associate company. Also, I'm the sole shareholder, which is one of the largest esports group globally, already operating in 40 plus countries. And a third, a few more million potential customers from the 30 international markets Safari now covers. So that's the reason why we think our competitors cannot compete with us, as they usually either single market or single product, or they only focus on a single type of customer, which in Hong Kong, which means the Hong Kong general public. But unfortunately, these Hong Kong equities or investors, they usually have multiple trading accounts with different brokers. So these are just a summary of what I mentioned regarding our competitive advantages. This is the present global markets covered and served by us through Hong Kong. And this is the name of the countries and where the trading facilities or the markets are being traded. So in terms of the trading app, we have been, trading app to be launched, we have been working on it. And this is the initial beta version, which shows some of the functions. And also, as I mentioned, there will be a chatting room, the full community infrastructure to be provided. For myself, a little bit on myself, I'm the sole shareholder for my asset management group, which is on the left side. Also within the group, we are also a licensed money lender in Hong Kong. And on the right-hand side is the new Popping project, which I'm also the sole shareholder. And if there are any new incoming investor, we can either work together in the operating level or to create a new holdings company. Regarding myself, I'm an experienced entrepreneur and professional. I'm an MBA, Master of Law. I'm a US and Hong Kong CPA, Canadian and Hong Kong certified financial consultant. I have been acting as senior management for quite a few major blue chip listed companies listed in Hong Kong, China, Singapore, UK, and USA. Regarding the Safari, as I mentioned, it was established in 2009, and we are licensed in securities dealing, advising on securities and asset management. And we have also full experience in offering a full spectrum of services.
Okay, so sorry to interrupt. I'm just going to ask you to go ahead and wrap up in just about 10 seconds, okay? Thank you.
Okay, sure. So basically, in short, we are offering a total solution, which includes licensing, convenience, cost effectiveness, choices of investment products, availability of community, and accessibility to multiple markets. This shows the deficiencies presently experienced by our so-called competitors. Some are listed in Hong Kong and the US. So in short, macro-wise, we are a real global operator that offers a diversity of choices. And last but not least, in terms of our offering, we are now fundraising $3 million out of a pre-money valuation of $12 million for popping. And this will be the new structure with the new incoming shareholder coming in. Okay. Hopefully we can also set up something in Tokyo and also be licensed in Japan for this operation. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much for your presentation. Okay, so moving on to insurance, we're going to start with Accurate. So I'll pass it over to you, Accurate. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll just share my screen. Okay for you?
Yeah, we can see it. We can hear you fine. Thank you.
Great. So hi, everyone. I'm Anne. I'm Chief Operating Officer of Accurate. Thank you very much for welcoming Accurate at the FinCity.Tokyo Global Networking event. It's an honor and a pleasure to be with you today. I would like to share with you how Accurate is revolutionizing insurance pricing and portfolio management with transparent artificial intelligence. Accurate is a solution dedicated to P&C and health insurers. We do not address life insurance. Accurate empowers insurers to get an accurate risk assessment tailored to their own portfolio and improve their pricing capabilities. Accurate started 4 years ago in France when our team of actuaries and data scientists started exploring how AI and machine learning algorithms could improve the insurance pricing process. Bridging the worlds of actuarial and data science is our DNA, it's our passion, it's where we come from. Our team turned 4 years of R&D efforts into a fully fledged cloud-based SaaS platform. Our solution is used today by more than 15 international P&C and health insurers globally. We serve clients in Europe, in America, and here in Japan, where we signed our first client a few weeks ago. We closed our €8 million Series A in February 2020 with notable international VCs, Blackfin Capital Partners and MTech Capital, to continue to grow and expand in Europe, in the US, and here in Asia. We are already working with the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, Tokyo Business Development Center, and Ernst & Young Japan through the Invest Tokyo program to build foundations and open an office in Tokyo. So insurance pricing is a complex challenge to sophisticate. On the one hand, you have traditional processes that are heavily manual, inefficient, and slow. It can take insurance companies over a year before they can launch a new product, or 8 months to do something as simple as updating the price of a car insurance policy. The lengthy time to market for pricing does not reflect the real-time expectations of consumers and is increasingly challenged by new competitors. And yet, the existing solutions to this problem just don't cut it. Although machine learning models could, in theory, address these issues, traditional machine learning technologies are by design black box. They do not comply with transparency regulatory requirements and are therefore unfit to be used in production at a large scale. Accurate managed to solve this equation with proprietary machine learning algorithms that automate the generation of models in a fully transparent way, making them absolutely compliant with regulatory requirements. Accurate was designed by actuaries for actuaries, taking into account their constraints and imperatives. Our solution covers the entire pricing suite, including risk models to cover the technical pricing part, aggregation to compute covers and policies pure premiums, demand models that can integrate price elasticity and consumer profile, impact analysis to test the impact of what-if price scenarios, and price optimization to recommend an optimal retail price. So what are the benefits? The benefits are first, the accelerated pricing time to market. It is the amazing advantage for our clients. They can reduce by 10 times the time to deploy and iterate on their product with automated modeling. And second, a 10% higher predictive power of risk models compared to legacy or manual solution, leading to significant reduction potential in loss ratio. Additional benefits include better internal governance of the models to avoid costly mistakes due to regulatory non-compliance and to limit the risk of adverse selection, as well as better understanding of pricing mechanisms across other departments, such as marketing within the company. So if you're an insurer who wants to bring major improvements to your pricing and portfolio management approach, let's talk. Thank you very much for your time and consideration during my pitch, and have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne-Laure. Okay. So next we'll move to Deposit Pass, Avolvida.
Okay, do you hear me?
Sure, we can hear you fine. Can you share your screen with us, please?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, do you see me? Hello?
Yes, we see your screen. We can hear you as well. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Camilo Pias-Chacon, CEO and co-founder of Deposit Pass. Deposit Pass has been tested successfully in Spain, and now we are bringing it to the UK in Q1 of next year. And we are very happy to introduce Deposit Pass soon in Japan. For millions of tenants around the world, and also in Japan, dealing with a rental deposit is stressful and expensive. Our target segment are those Japanese tenants aged 25 to 65 who want to get rid of the cash deposit. What do? We convert a fraction of a tenant's life insurance into a rental deposit. So our business model is very lean. We monetize the conversions of millions of life insurance policies around the world into rental deposits using the legal figure of the assignment or pledge. So no downside for all involved parties. The benefits for the tenant, much cheaper, no cash, very important, all-in cost fee, no recurring fees and charges, very important, available for any type of property, no credit check, and so very, very little documentation. And the benefits for letting agents, landlords, and others, it fastens up the rental process, no costs, and very important, secure payment for landlords in case of outstandings. Benefits for life insurers, a very simple add-on, a retention tool, which helps them to cross-sell new premiums and generate new additional revenues. The geography we are moving, the annual market, the annual market is globally $5 billion, of which only Japan represents 30%, so $1.5 billion. We estimate that the serviceable obtainable market in Japan is 1 million tenants and $0.5 billion a year. Our main revenue are the fees from the issuance of the rental deposits, and then we will bring other insurance products through this channel. As you can see from our ascending revenues and net income, this is a really nice hockey stick. We ask for $800,000, mainly to deploy it more than 50% in technology and product development, around a third in access to the Japanese market, and the remaining 16% to build up the team. We are a strong team with decades of experience around the world in banking, reinsurance, as well as insurance, legal, and tech. Rodrigo is also here for any technical question you might have. So we are very interested in Japan and looking for partners in real estate, life insurance, as well as for investors. Thank you very much for your time, and we hope to have a chat with you soon. Thank you.
Okay, Camilo, thank you very much for your presentation. So now we're going to move on to our last company for the day, Comarch.
Hello, everyone. Do you hear me now?
Sure, we can hear you fine.
Let me share my screen. Please tell me, do you see my presentation?
Yes, we see it. Thank you.
Okay, so hello again. Thank you for staying till the end of the pitch session and giving me my 5 minutes. My name is Julia Poyata. I'm Business Development Manager at Comarch. Our name is actually coming from just 2 words, computer architecture, so it's pretty easy to remember. So let me introduce our company first. Comarch has approximately, 30 years of experience in financial technology. We are a Polish company which has approximately 6,500 of employees all around the world. We have thousands of successfully finished projects in approximately 100 countries. And currently we also have office in Tokyo, Japan, and it is in Shinagawa, and you're welcome to come to us. Some of our clients include such names as Allianz, AXA, BNP Paribas, ING, Prudential. If it comes to Japanese clients, we work with such clients as Mitsubishi UFJ Bank or Mitsubishi Financial Group entities. Also, we're endorsed by Japanese External Trade Organization or Tokyo Metropolitan Government. So probably, as I have described, we are a pretty big company, therefore our product suite is also diversified. Today I have picked one product to present, which is anti-money laundering, but before that I will briefly describe our other solutions. So we deliver especially in Japan, since some of core banking systems are relatively antiquated, we deliver, for example, corporate banking or SME banking capabilities, loyalty management capabilities for finance, cybersecurity solutions, omnichannel platform for selling insurance products or processing loan loan products completely online. We also deliver wealth and asset management solution, which is based on artificial intelligence, which delivers such functionalities as well, price predictions, which are pretty accurate. They hit a 70% accuracy mark. And if it comes to anti-money laundering solution, it is also AI-based, and it is used mainly for reducing false, for reducing, in Japanese is gokenshi and mikenshi, which means basically false positives. So if it comes to anti-money laundering traditional approach, I suspect most of our corporate clients who are present today are using rule-based systems, which deliver analysts some results, and analysts have to go through whole check of those cases manually, when in reality about 95% of all cases detected are well, just falsely detected, which means that 95% of analysts' work is not needed. What we propose at this point is to add, well, AI capabilities, deep learning capabilities, machine learning capabilities to identify some anomalies which can be, our rule-based system can just miss, and ranks the alerts to decrease the amount of work that analysts have to perform. So this is just a quick wrap-up of what I just described. So just not to just describe our system, but to show actual results. We had a project with one of large global banks, and they had a high number of false alarms, which obviously decreased the effectiveness of anti-money laundering division. And they had to, they wanted to reduce this false positive rate and evaluate how much of the processes, how many of the processes can be automated. So by implementing our solution, the results were pretty great. They reduced the false alarm rate by approximately 60%. And this is just one screen from our results. So as you can see, this is a risk ranking, which is based on a risk score calculated by explainable AI. And 6% of all transactions that were flagged as the most suspicious ones actually included 98% of actual money laundering cases. If you ask me, it's a pretty good result. So this is all from me today. Please feel free to contact me. I will come back to the first page. Here is my email address. And feel free to write me whether in English or in Japanese. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your presentation, and thank you to all of our companies that presented with us today. So we are going to have a Q&A session, a free Q&A session after this, but first I would like to, hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great, thank you. Yeah, so we are going to have a Q&A session following this, but I would just like to update everyone on the next FinCity.Tokyo event. So it's going to be on the 14th of December, and this will be for asset management companies that want to do pitches to Japanese asset owners. So anyone listening who would like to register can please go to the Eventbrite or PTX links that are posted on this slide, and this will also be shared. So we will do a similar process where we will have nominations for the pitch event, and we will announce the pitching companies for that event. So the Tokyo Metropolitan Government will also be having an event, a seminar for foreign asset management firms on December 7th. And FinCity.Tokyo, the pitch event was today, and then we'll have the other pitch event later on December 14th. Okay, so here's a contact list for our presenters today. So we have both the Japanese side, if you'd like to get in touch with any of the presenters from the beginning of the presentation, and then the companies that presented. today. Their contact information is listed below on this slide. Okay, we also ask that you please take a few minutes to fill out our survey. So the survey URL is posted here. This would be a great help to us so we can get feedback on how the event went. And for those who answer the survey, we will be sending out a link to download today's materials. Okay, so I'd like to move into the Q&A session now, and I'd like to ask give me just one moment, please. So there's a question, is Sean, are you still on the call? So we have a question asking about the coverage of Amber Data's coverage of crypto data. How many are covered? Sean, are you still on the call? Okay, if not, I'd like to follow up with Sean on that question later on. So does anyone else have any questions for the pitching companies today? If you have questions, please type your question into the Q&A box, and please let us know who your question is for. Okay, so we have a question for Uprise. Could you elaborate about the blueprint for your business for your entry to Japan?
Hi there. So thanks you for your question. Justin helped us on the onboarding with the Invest Tokyo program. So we plan to launch in April, around the same time as the financial year beginning of Japan. And so right now we are in talks with payment gateways and card schemes like Visa, Stripe, Adyen, the likes of those in terms of partnership for landing. Basically, because what the plan for Japan is that Japan is such a huge and deeply penetrated market in terms of credit cards, and we see that as a much larger and vaster market than Hong Kong. And the initial plan would be onboarding more of our sales team to quickly ramp up our transaction volumes, and basically by increasing our transaction volume quickly, we can have a stronger bargaining power towards our gateway partners or the card scheme companies in order to reduce our costs and globally as well. So that's our planning. If this is what the question is about.
All right, thanks a lot, Peter. Okay, do we have any other questions? Okay, so another for Uprise. Which credit card brand is going to be accepted in Japan?
It really depends on the payment gateway processor. So Stripe offers quite a number of card brands: Visa, Master, Amex, JCB. I think Adyen has a lot more brand coverage as well. So it really depends on which payment gateway partner as we partner with. And the idea is to target card brands that are very popular in Japan. So according to the market research that Ernst & Young kindly did for us, Visa, JCB are the most popular brands in Japan, and these brands are all well covered by the partners that we talk to right now.
All right, thanks a lot. So we have a question from Mr. Nakagawa to Safari Asia. And the question is, are you going to set up an office in all the markets that you intend to cover?
The answer is no need. There are two reasons. First, if the order is to buy, say, Hong Kong or China shares, it can all done through our Hong Kong setup. If the order is to actually address the 30+ markets we are now covering, we already have local counterparties that can process these orders for us.
And who's your execution broker?
Oh, too many, because we are covering 30 countries, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And question for Accurate. So you've mentioned running a first project in Japan. Could you elaborate on the type of hurdles you expect in delivering your first project here and how you plan to overcome them? Also, what type of KPIs do you usually set to confirm the success of a first project?
Yes, sure. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so basically the type of hurdles, our solution is pretty country agnostic and line of business agnostic. So the main hurdles that we expect are getting in touch with pricing teams of insurance companies in Japan. Other than that, our solution is pretty agnostic and can incorporate regulation specificities, or, I mean, it's really, the use case is really very global. So that there's really not such hurdles related to localization or real insurance practice specificities, because we've already tested that and we know it works very well for Japan. And in terms of KPIs, really the two KPIs that most of our clients use are the speed of building the models. As I said, it's 10x faster than what they're usually using, and the second KPI is the improvement in the prediction power of the models that they generate, which is also pretty easy to measure, and usually they can measure these two KPIs by running a 2-week pilot with the solution.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And the next question is from Manali eBusiness. So Japan has a unique business culture. Could you share your perspectives about how Manali plans to overcome the hurdles when doing business in Japan as a foreign company?
So as Enablement, we already have worked with quite a few Japanese companies with interest in India. We have worked with large MNCs when they face issues in India doing business, finding partners. We do understand some philosophy when they come to India. However, when we go to Japan, we'll be looking for a business partner who understands the culture very well. We generally understand the pain points of small and medium-sized businesses and how to go about it and how to solve them effectively. So we would work with a partner in Japanese market to help bring this technological platform and the marketplace model to help these SMEs in that country.
All right, thank you very much. I think the next question is for you as well, because it says to India Biz. I'm assuming that's you. And do you currently have business investors from outside of India?
So currently, all the business opportunities what we have are from India. We are focused so far with India. However, around 16% of our users are from outside India, primarily from US, Europe, and obviously the rest of the world. They are the ones who are looking for either entry to India, partnering with Indian companies, or doing an investment in Indian geography. We are looking to grow. We are looking to grow with launching our technology platform in other markets, but market by market rather than starting at one go in all the markets. And wherever we go, we will be working with local partner to help in these investment banking practices for that particular market.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Are there any other questions? Feel free to type them in the Q&A box. Just while you guys think about more questions. Wait, here we go. Okay, so for Hedge SPA, You mentioned green investments. Do you have any other segments that you specialize in?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Great. Well, we have received paperwork for $500 million to about $1 billion to fund a slate of seed funds. And this is going to be, the goal is to be able to create a slate of multi-asset investments, which is very typical for how some of the insurance company and pension plan would typically invest. So the idea is the following. The seed investor will actually invest the capital in, like, for instance, sort of spread over different equity, fixed income, and also alternative investment. And then as and when we actually manage to raise additional money from those funds, right, he will recycle some of his capital into the strategic areas that he's looking at. However, one of the things that, because the seed investor is actually, he is a infrastructure developers himself, very excited about things like hydroelectric dam. So one of the things that he's specifically looking for is these green investment project. In particular, the project that was I brought up early on. We were actually the hydrogen project. We're actually doing this in collaboration with Georgia Tech. And I think two governments are looking to asking us they would be keen to support it, and also because we're trying to write tokens on it, and we have to list it somewhere. So it's like right now, currently, a top Dutch bank is working with us to see whether it can be listed in Holland, because Holland is one of the jurisdictions where they have solved most of the relevant regulatory issues associated with that kind of tokens. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So just a reminder to please take a few minutes to fill out our survey. And we still have about 10 minutes left in the QA session. Are there any other questions? Okay, so I'm not seeing anything in the... Okay, so I'd like to ask a question to Nakagawa-san. So how critical is the Japanese language for companies that are coming here?
I think for us, from an investment point of view, language is not an issue. Obviously, having said that, it was limited to, I would say, English and maybe Chinese is fine. Now, if in order to do business in Japan, I think speaking the language would help dramatically. I wouldn't say it's a showstopper if you don't speak the language, but it would help. So, having a local partner or an employee on the ground, somebody who speaks Japanese, would make a lot of difference. Actually doing the business. For investment, I don't think it makes any difference for us.
Okay, then can I ask you, what do you expect to FinTech Tokyo? Since there's lots of difficulties comparing Tokyo to other cities, what are the strengths of Tokyo, or is there anything that you can only do in Tokyo?
I think Tokyo is, I think you've got this interesting demographics, or Tokyo's in a pretty interesting situation, given that we have one of the most robust capital markets. Stock market is, as you can see, it's third, is it? The third largest stock exchange in the world. And the number of newly listed companies, I think it's probably one of the highest. I'm a little bit concerned that the standard of listing may not be as high, or should be as high. we've got an aging population, which means that there's much more opportunity for younger talent. It's a safe city. It's a fun city. Food's good. The weather's beautiful. So I think there's all the reasons to come to Japan, or at least Tokyo.
Great, thank you very much. And you also had a question in the chat for Hedge SPA. I assume it's a security token.
Yeah, just to clarify, it's actually there's a wide range of anywhere between between security and utility token. This is something somewhere in between, so to speak. We are actually working with lawyers to see whether we can list it under Type 6 license in Hong Kong. But what we're doing right now is that we're working with one of the top Dutch bank to list it in Holland, and simply because we know that for a fact that Holland is at one of those jurisdictions where it's relatively easy to, where they have cleared most of the regulation related to this, right? So why do we actually need to attach a token to it? The reason is we're trying to attach a carbon credit to it, okay? Carbon credit is one of those businesses where, as much as I hate to say it, right? Just about everyone cheats, meaning that they like to take 1 ton of carbon credit and sell it to five different buyers, right? With tokens, what is unique is that, as you know, in Bitcoin, you actually have a way to embed an algorithmic ceiling to how many tokens you can issue per tranche. So this actually have a very solid way of making sure that the investor is actually, because there are usually 2 reasons they invest, right? One is they're excited about the investment, and secondly, they want to do some good. And in this case, we think we have a good investment. At the same time, they can also do some good, and then they don't have to worry about being cheated. And the specific technology we're looking at, Bill Gates actually recently made a similar investment as well. So Nakagawa-san, I will actually send you some stuff. Thanks for the question. I will send you some stuff to follow up on that.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks a lot for your question, and thanks a lot for your response. So I would like to ask a question. Oh, sorry, here's one more for Accurate. And it's, do you have any credentials in Japan or overseas? Sorry, Accurate, are you still on the call? Okay, so it looks like Accurate may have left the call already. Oh, here we go.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Ah, okay, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So any credential in Japan or overseas? So yes, we do. So we have a first client in Japan who's using Accurate in production for their risk modeling. We have over 15 clients globally that are using Accurate as well in production. So that's in Europe, America, and we're starting Asia. Amongst those, not all of them are public references, so I cannot list them all. But I can mention that we are working with AXA Allianz and Generali, amongst others.
All right, thanks a lot. And that's going to be the last question for today. So I'd like to remind everyone to please fill out our survey today. And we sincerely appreciate everyone's participation. We know a lot of you stayed up late or made special arrangements to be here, so we appreciate your time. Thank you to our panelists as well. And with that, I'll go ahead and close the session. And it's been an absolute pleasure having all of you here, and wishing everyone the best. Thank you.
Thank you.